Good morning, everybody, and welcome to my Ascension messages. My name is Bobbie Richardson, and I'm known as the Bobbie the Messenger on YouTube and Facebook. So let's get into this. Today is Tuesday, and Tuesday we do tarot, fun with tarot, channel messages coming through for the Ascension process and what humanity is going through. What's the best guidance for humanity at the moment, or those watching at the moment, to move forward through these new energies that are constantly shifting and changing at the moment, because we are changing out of something so profoundly limited and into such expansion when we start to connect back to our soul again. And it's through our soul's awareness and memory that we start to realize the opportunities that we've been missing out on through the fear game of limitation. So I'll start with some tarot. Don't forget, I also do private readings as well. So the link's down below for codes to a new reality is my website. And just click on that and it'll take you to intuitive counseling and readings. You can choose out of that one if you want to. I've also just produced an incredible channeled message, codes to awaken missions, and had a great rapport on that one. So yeah, I'm really excited to bring more of those sort of videos for you guys, because it takes me a lot of time and effort, but it's so worth it in the end. And I really want to honor and respect the messages that I get. And I do have the capability to produce these videos. I know what I'm doing. So yeah, I just keep on pumping them out if I feel like it's necessary at the moment. Otherwise, the channel messages will all be brought up in the lives. So lives are on Tuesday and Thursday. Thursday, I just do straight channeling though. Hi, Paula. Hey, Cheryl and Sky. Good morning. Sky, thank you so much. Guys, thank you so much for the comments on my latest video. Yeah. That was an exciting one. Okay, let's see what the tarots have to say for today and the energies that are shifting. It's just this, I literally feel like it's like all very malleable at the moment, the energies, and depending on which stage you're at, where you're at. But they did say to me to call this dream big. Like to I forgot what I called it, but it was something about dreaming big, because I put this up last night. Believe in the impossible dream. Yeah, that's right. So the reason why they called it that is because if we don't start believing in the impossible, how are we ever going to bring through it, even if we ended up manifesting half of that? So long as, you know, we're living in the moment and really happy with where we're going, then we can dream the biggest impossible dream, always have somewhere to go towards, but still be very satisfied in where we're at. And that's more important, to be satisfied for where you're at, but to always have something to move towards, to always be using your mind, your imagination, your soul, your body, your actions towards what where you really want to go, is going to channel or carve a new path for humanity's consciousness and awareness. So this is why they want us to believe in the impossible, bring through those dreams, start to think big, and say to self, you know what, even if I get halfway there, isn't that incredible? But if you get halfway to a very small dream, or even full way to a very small dream, it's probably not going to be anywhere near as grand as what you would if you had a massive dream and then you got halfway there in this life or something like that. So it's actually, and it will also guide your soul to even further in the next life and the next life. So that's why they say dream the impossible dream. You know, go for it. Just don't say to yourself that you're a failure if you don't get there. see yourself and living in the moment, and in the moment as feeling grateful and gratitude for how far you've come, and it's just that allowing it to be a space that you can attain to, at least aligns you with carving a new path towards such beauty. Look at that. Ace of Pentacles fell out when I was talking about that. And that is grounding our dreams. And the very first step is to use the imagination, to dream big, to think big. That literally is to do that as an ace. And Pentacles is all to do with grounding it into this reality, onto this plane, and bringing through the fruits and the abundance that comes with that. Because when you ground something, you get the rewards from grounding it. It's not just staying in the ether. So beautiful card right off the bat with the Ace of Pentacles. My birthday is Thursday. Hey, Mary. Happy birthday for Thursday. That's so cool. So you would be a Libra. So we're stepping out of Virgo season now. We have the Hangman, but the Hangman has come in reverse. So I'll just put these aside for now. See if another one pops out as well. There we go. Ooh. Okay, we have 3 cards, but they want me to pull one more. Yeah, I knew it. So we actually got 2 more that came out then. I don't know what they are. So let's see where we're going here with these cards. So we have the Ace of Pentacles, the Hangman in reverse. Let's start with these. So the Hangman in reverse is literally starting to move. We're starting to come out of a stagnant situation where we were like tied up and feeling vulnerable, but also finding new perspectives of life, finding out how we can see life in a different manner. So we're coming out of that now. Look, he's not hanging anymore. He's dancing. He's literally dancing. So this is us going, okay, we've got to that point where we just go, stuff everything. I might as well just be me. And whatever that brings, that brings. And let's just see where the cards may fall. Let's just move forward with this. And it brings in this new opportunity, new beginnings, new fresh start. It's when we could be hanging for ages, and literally humanity's consciousness has been hanging for ages in the perspective of feeling like they have to fit into a society that doesn't fit their soul, doesn't fit their spirit, doesn't make their spirit feel any good. But when we step out of that and we finally release the fact that didn't work for us. All those limitations making us feel like we're belittled and victimized, using us for, the mass corporation, high businesses and stuff like that are only taking more than what they're giving and that sort of thing. So I really feel the people are starting to move from the stalemate feeling and then go, what are we doing here? Like, why are we allowing them to dictate how our life should be? Especially when we see things so much more clearly now. So we have the 9 of Swords in reverse as well. So here goes the mind thoughts, just coming back to ourselves, and we're like sleeping, and then we wake up and the mind thoughts start going off, and then we're like, oh my God, can I do this, over and over and over, thinking about the worst things over and over, that things aren't working for me over and over. And really it just keeps me in this stagnated position of the Hangman. But even that is in reverse. So it's like I let go of all those swords. I finally stand up. I get out of bed and I shake my head and I go, no more. that's enough. Like, mind, you've taken over too much, and you're not bringing me any fruits. You're not bringing me what I really deserve and what I know I should be respecting myself enough not to allow this mind of mine to take over anymore, and letting it go. No more with the negative thinking in that respect of reliving things or trying to project what's coming into the future. Sorry. Yeah. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles, lots of reverses at the moment. So we're really switching things up, like really, you know, it's like in the past, we've gone through this, and then we come out, and then we start to get a little peep of rewards, and then we go back into it again and get caught in the story, get caught in the system, get caught in the, oh my God, what the heck is happening? And, you know, and that's usually because they're really throwing their stuff at us. And then we go, hang on a minute, I've got caught in their story again. Bring myself back into myself and tell my mind it's not in control. I'm going to be the one that's creating this from my soul's perspective, my awareness of knowing, the observer of myself, recognizing me as source energy as well as in this body, and then saying that I've got both sides of the reins and moving forward. So we've got all of that, and we keep going back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth. And I'm feeling like with the Eight of Pentacles, that it's like that back and forth of, you know, it's literally, I think in the normal card, I'm not sure, but I'm just feeling with this one that we need to start to recognize where our efforts are going. You know, what are we actually doing here with all of our energy, with our mind, with our imagination, with the energy of our actions? And what are we actually creating here? What, you know, we have to take responsibility for that within our own right. What are we individually creating here? And then looking at that. And then we end up with the Nine of Swords. And she looks very honorable and respectful and standing her ground. And I think in the Knight of Swords, it's like this charge of energy that's coming forward. So that being a female in this card, it's like the feminine power of self, and no longer coming from a point of, I have to control everything outside myself to be heard. This is an inner sword, an inner feist, an inner power within us that's wanting to come out. And that's what happens when we start to take a new perspective and find a new beginning, and then go, well, I might as well put all my energy into who I am authentically. This is literally one of the stages that I went through to start channeling 3 years ago, start going live. Like, I've had my YouTube for eons. I think I've been up on YouTube for 14 years, but I'd do a little bit and then I'd pull back. For years, I wouldn't do anything, and then I'd do a little bit and that sort of thing, and didn't really plunge into this until 3 years ago properly. And now look how far I've come. Like, I really am starting to recognize how far I've come. And before it was like, I'm never going to get to where I really want to go. And now I'm starting to realize how far I've come. And it's shifted me up to relaxing. And with that, I've now found a new opportunity that has always been there for me, but I never took that opportunity because I was a little afraid of, if I take that opportunity and it doesn't work, then where am I to go? And now I'm just like, it's okay now, because I already feel satisfied in where I'm at now. And so if that doesn't work, I just bounce back to this as the bottom of my bucket. This is beautiful anyway, what I'm doing here right now with you guys in the chat bar and doing what I'm doing. So this is what we're shifting up. We're starting to take our power back and recognize that we are the ones that can shift our reality by the perception that we create, by changing our perception and moving forward. No longer listening to the mind and the negative thinking, which has actually held us back. It's literally held us back. So I'll just push those up so I can get some more cards coming out here. Hey, Amy, life is a bowl of cherries, thumbs up. Thank you for saying thumbs up. Yes, that'd be great if you do thumbs up. Always helps, and comments always help too. And I love the comments, especially in the chat bar, especially in the chat bar on the channel messages. So if you have any questions you want to bring up for this Thursday, that would be really good. Wow, we keep on getting the same cards coming through at the moment. Thank you, Leanne. I love my new video. Yeah, I love it too. It's a powerful one, that's for sure. If you're going to watch my new video, yeah, it can really awaken some things in you. I love the messages that they've brought to me for that video. That was one of those aha moments. I was actually literally in the bath and I just went, oh my God, I know what my next video is. It was like this download while I was in the bath. Holy crap, I know what I'm doing next. And then it just all poured through and it was so easy. But, a lot of effort, a lot of time, because I was making sure it was perfectly in line with the energy that they were giving me. I was trying to bring that energy up. Any case, let's get back to tarot. So we have a couple that have fallen out of the Osho. Any more messages from Osho? You know what they're saying? Do these cards first. We have rebirth again, and we have creator. Now, the creator card hasn't come out so much now. This is really interesting because the rebirth card has come up a lot. We're coming out of the sleeping camel. We're going into the roaring lion. Listen to me. I know who I'm. I know I want to change the world outside of me, that sort of thing. Back to the innocence of self of, it's all to do with how I feel about me and how the world reacts with how I feel about me. So this is all rebirth, rebirth, rebirth. Finally, this person becomes the guide because the child within us is the one that's creating the magic, is tooting the flute. And what does the flute do? It creates sound. Sound in itself is vibration. Vibration is what pulls everything into manifestation. Vibration comes from the will of man. And then when we have our will in line with our heart, with our soul, we will vibrate a new story onto this world. And that story becomes the creator. We become the creator of the story. We start to realize that we have the power within us to move into something new just through the will of man and becoming the sound, the vibrational pulse. So they're showing me every human has this vibration that's around them. And when they're thinking small, when they're thinking that they're not worthy of themselves or not worthy of what's going on, or they'll never get anywhere, that vibration is kind of a mucky one. It isn't a line. It's like this side goes up, this side goes up, like the vibration is all over the show. It's a bit of a mess. Oh yeah, I can do it. No, I can't. Oh my God, rah, rah. And then they're showing me all in line with the soul, coming to the center of oneself, the creator of who we are. And with that becomes this will, this power, and the vibration that comes out of that of, I know who I am. I know what I can bring. It's kind of like that connection to that soul brings us into the central point. And the vibration that moves out from that, because we're walking this path of love for ourselves, we end up walking a path of love for everything outside of us. And then we start to carve this whole new somatic pattern of vibrations where other possibilities become in our awareness. And then that ends up moving us towards different portals of our own choosing. And then when we move towards a certain decision that we want to create, then so too does others that have the same idea or the same vibration, and that's where we all meet. And then we end up becoming tribe-like again, but all connected with various parts of the puzzle to bring through. So there's this shift up that's happening, and this is going to take, it's not going to happen overnight, but it can happen overnight. Okay, so they're telling me it can happen overnight, but the reason why they're saying it's not going to happen overnight is because it's our mind limits us into this. It's our mind that stops us. It stops it becoming overnight. Although in certain people, in certain places, it will become overnight. Okay, that's a little confusing. Every possibility. They're saying, let's just lay every possibility out for the people. So I'm going to go with that. Let's just lay every possibility out for the people. In other words, don't feel guilty if it doesn't happen overnight, but just there can be a possibility that it can. Yeah. And that means overnight means that you wake up, oh my God, I get it now. And you never return back to belittling yourself and making yourself feel small to fit into a society where your soul doesn't understand that, because your soul knows you are a magnificent person. Your soul knows that. Okay. See what else pops up. Now they're popping out that I've explained that. I think they wanted me to focus in on those two cards. So wow, it's just incredible what's going on here. So we have the adventure card, like literally shifting up our adventure. What kind of adventure do you really want? Where are you really going? Like the things that don't fit into the adventure of where you really want to go, stop giving it attention. It's our attention that carves that path. So if we don't like something, moving towards something, say for instance, you have a family member that really you love to death, you really love them, and you want to get along with them better. And you have this in your mind of, in the past, it all went wrong. Every time I said this happened, and and we end up fighting. We end up, just ignoring each other, or we end up whatever it is. They want us to stop giving attention to that story and wake up the next morning and go, I'm no longer listening to my mind, because that is something that doesn't exist in this moment. It only existed in the past. And what I've done is I've held on to that past, so it keeps on replaying over and over. So I'm no longer giving my mind that attention anymore. I am letting it go. I'm either distracting my mind with something completely different, or I'm going to imagine a whole new path with that person, depending on what level your mind has the capacity of being able to grab. So allow your mind to imagine something new if you can. If you can't, with that person, if you can't, then just distract it. Just go, you know what, I'm not listening to that story. I'm going to go, I don't know, go do some artwork, go do my business, go do the taxes, go do whatever it is that you want to distract your mind with. Yeah, so this is all to do with creating this new adventure, but wherever you put your attention is what's going to be manifested, because this is the energy at the present moment. This is what's happening. And if we're constantly seeking outside ourselves for that validation of that person has to shift up before I change, then nothing is going to change, because you are now listening to this tarot reading, and you are now in awareness that you are the one that has the understanding to be able to change it. So take the rein back, be the strong one, be the powerful one, imagine the new story, carve a new path. You have come into alignment with me to say this, for my guides to be able to bring this up. So take responsibility for that next step and carve this new path. Be the brave one, be the strong one to say, no, no more. The buck stops here. I'm not reliving that story anymore. Watch what will happen. I can tell you now, if you truly do this with yourself and be really honest with yourself and your mind, and allowing it to let go and distracting yourself and bringing a new adventure in, you watch, that person will treat you totally different. It will all shift up. It will change. We have that much power within us, because all of a sudden the friction that you had between that person and you is fallen away, and they can't fight, they can't push nothing, so they will fall over if they push nothing. So then they have to start to stand up on their own feet to be able to think for themselves. And when they do that, they look at themselves a little bit more, and then they see that the story isn't there anymore for them to push against. So it shifts and it changes. But we have to be very honest with ourselves and not distract ourselves with lies, or not pretend that something isn't there. Because if we pretend that something isn't there, we don't have the reins to it. We've thrown the reins over there. And that means that someone else can pick up those reins and still take them and control your mind and control your adventure of where you're going to go next. So it's really important to really look at self deeply. Oh, I've been playing the game, the mind game, and bringing that horrible story up again. And I'm the one that's been carving an adventure that I actually didn't like. Because that card actually did come in reverse, but I wanted it to be spoken about upright to begin with. And the next card that came up was existence. Look at these cards. This is how powerful this energy is at the moment. OMG. Rebirth, new creation, existence. This is us, just us, solely who you are in the moment. And that's all you need to take care of. This is you realizing that your existence is all that matters, and how you feel about you, how you feel about your outer world. Everything comes from you and how you feel about you, but then the outer world is that as well. So this is all about bringing us back to I am in existence. Now, the universe in itself and everything in it is neutral. It has no care about what you create and carve. So you can create the worst scenario, and so you can create the best scenario. But obviously we want to align ourselves with something that feels good. And you have the power to do that when you come back to self, when you sit on that lotus leaf of knowing that everything that is around you is you. You know, I've always put out one of the big wishes that I had. I asked to have something happen on my birthday so that I could say, this is mine. And I wanted it to be an outer body. I wanted it to be a star thing. I wanted it to be something like a comet or something like that. And that's what happened this year for me. I literally had the beautifulest comet. Someone took a photograph of it on my birthday, and it was absolutely gorgeous. Actually, it's in the latest video that I created about codes to missions. I just slipped it in there because I just found it, and it was just like, oh my God, I'm going to put it in this video when I was having a chat. Because it was all to do, that comet was the energy that I got off it was all to do with carving this new path. And that's what I'm all about. That's what my whole story, my whole life has been about, learning how to carve a new path. You know, my father said to me when I was younger, he's like, Bobbie, you just think everything's going to be roses in the end. You think everything's going to be beautiful. And I'm like, turned to him and said, and what's so bad about that? What's so bad about that? because he was constantly the pessimist of, we have to make sure that everything is, I'm glad that you had a sister that used to be really hard on you, because that made you toughen up and you were tougher. But all it did was bring more people that are hard on me into my reality. And here I am still picking myself up and saying, no, there's a better story. There's a better story. Let's look at the better story. And he's like, why do you keep doing that? I'm like, because this is who I am. And this is what I'm here for. And now I can shine. So now I'm doing it. Now I'm being me. And that's all I am asking of, and my guides and me are asking of anyone else, is just to be you. Really recognize who you are and be you. And just going to pick another. Oh, we'll go for these ones. Pack. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Dave. Good morning, Trina. Thank you, Nicole. Beautifully explained. Sky, what an incredible video it was. I shared it with many of my friends. Yay. Yay, I'm glad you could share it. I'm really happy about that. Okay, guys, we've got 2 cards that have fallen out, and this is Archangel Hanel. Look at all these golden colors that have, golden and purple seem to be the go for today, and the golden, and we've got 2 purple cards. So gold color is all about taking your power back on this plane, on this earth, and then shining this light of who you are, stepping in onto the golden path of your own creation. So we have joy, blessings, intuition. So stepping up our intuition and letting it guide you. Now, sometimes things haven't happened in the past, even though we thought that we were using our intuition, because our mind was guiding us or leading us down the wrong path to begin with. And our intuition was on par, but it was on par with the wrong path. If remember what I said before, that the universe or the outside reality, it is neutral. Whatever we're creating, we're creating. It's up to us and our will of ourselves and our understanding of who we are and our power and what we give our attention to, that starts to create more. And that comes from our mind first out. So what we give attention to more than our mind. Takes me to an old Indian prophecy. Prophecy? I think that's what they call it. No, proverb, where there's 2 wolves and one is very feisty and negative, and the other one is not. And they said it's which one you feed the most that you will end up bringing into your reality. And same goes for your thinking, for your thoughts. What story are you going to feed most? And that will bring in the joys and the blessings and everything, because we're starting to turn our back. And they're also bringing me to Merlin the Wizard movie. And Merlin the Wizard movie, there was this wizard, Merlin, that was confronting the Lady of the Lake. I think she was getting out of power. Her power was just immense and firing off everywhere and just causing havoc anyway. And he turned around finally, after trying to fight her, after trying to ignore her, after trying to do all those things, he turned around and just said, I no longer give you any validation. And he walked away. I'm not even going to listen to your story. He just walked away from the stories that were trying to overtake him. And that made her even angrier, because she had nothing to fight against, because he was no longer giving her any power to fight the story. So this is what we have to do from the inside out, and then it will start reflecting on the outside as well, where those that are in power will start to fall, because their power comes from you giving them the power to fight. The more that we say no more to that, and we just keep on aligning ourselves with what we want to create over here, we start carving a new path. The universe, God, Gaia, Earth herself will start to validate that, because that is the new frequencies that we are aligning with. And so we will carve this new path. The people will win in the end because source energy has already decided upon that. And we have decided as a people. That's why ages and ages ago, it come to this point, especially through the wars that have passed and in the last 1900s and that, the people started crying out, spiritually crying out, we want to change things. We don't want this anymore. This is too much to handle. We want it. And that's why a lot of souls were born in the 2000s that come from higher frequencies, because we're here to help guide others into shifting their thoughts and their mind and where they're putting their attention and what they're actually going to create next, that they actually already had the power within them to change up things, that sort of thing. Okay, I'll see what else is coming through. And then we will pick an animal card. Hey, hummingbird, bird lovers. My eldest daughter absolutely loves birds. She loves them so much. I actually drew a picture of two of her birds that they ended up passing. So I drew this beautiful picture and gave it to her. Okay, who have we got? Connect with someone special. A loved one is a gift and a treasure. Connection. This is what's coming next too, because we're going to unify. The people are going to become unified. And it's going to be through us being authentically us now. And so that's going to have a very strong, stable understanding of who we are. And the people that are around us, no longer pointing the finger at anyone else for doing whatever, bringing it all back to self and going, okay, there's a lesson for me here. Where is it? And keep on moving through life like that, so that we're no longer, we can come from our own compassion towards others and no longer blaming others for our own victimization. Because when we are in true connection coming from our authentic self, we will say the right thing. We will be in the right frequency, the right energy. We will do the right thing. We will say the right thing to enhance our connections. At the moment, because of the warpedness of still looking outside ourselves for validation, we aren't trusting who we are or others. We think we're not trusting others, but we're actually not trusting ourselves to choose those right people to come in line with us, but because we're not in line with ourselves. And so we end up blaming the game, and it keeps going round and round in circles. So when we come back to I am authentically me and I love who I am, then the right people are going to see you for who you are and then validate who you are and make you feel good for that. And then you're going to end up collectively coming together to carve something new. So connections is one of the next things that will happen. People will start to connect together and form these bonds that are unbreakable, because it comes from love of self, and that is unbreakable. Because you can't, if you are coming from looking outside yourself, then it is breakable, because that person that's outside of you just needs to leave, just needs to say something wrong, and you haven't already found that within yourself, that what they said doesn't even compute in your mind. You haven't found your own self empowerment, and so you're constantly looking at them for empowerment. And when they leave, you're left with a hole. So this is all about us finding this connection within ourselves first before we find those that resonate with us. Yeah. See what else comes up. Yeah, don't forget to share and like this too. I would really appreciate that. I want to expand a little bit more than what I have. Okay, here we go. Reflect. Okay. It's interesting though, because we have the hangman that's in reverse, and the hangman in reverse is like, okay, time to stop. Just stop doing nothing and literally move towards something. Take a leap of faith. I'm actually surprised the full card hasn't come out, but then the reflect card came out. So I'm just seeing what they're saying with this. Okay, I get it. So the change that's happening at the moment is so freaking powerful. It's like huge. So please come back to self and keep reflecting, and then move forward towards the adventure, and then come back to self and then reflect, and keep going like this. Allow yourself to have move inwards at self, and then look outwards to see where you want to go next. It's like they're showing me the yin yang, and the yin yang working together now. The yin yang is working together, but even within our inner self, looking at our inner self, we still have a piece of the outer, being that we are physically here. And then when we look outside ourselves, we still have a piece of the inner, knowing that we are the creators of our own reality. So it's the combination of both, realizing that one cannot escape the other. And when we move forward like that, we are whole again. So the reflect needs to come in. Even though we are finding a new adventure, dreaming big, thinking outside the box, doing something new, we have to keep on coming back to ourselves and making sure that we're in alignment with who we are authentically, so that we do bring through a beautiful, and also self-nurturing as we go along. Allow ourselves to be self-nurturing as we go along as well. Okay, guys, I will pick an animal card, and if anyone knows in the chat, most people know if I pick an animal card, it means that I'm opening up the chat bar for free readings. So I'll pick an animal card and let you guys, if you want a free reading, just let me know in the chat bar. Okay. Yeah, and just like to say that if you are in the chat bar, if you can put a comment down below this video, just helps everything as well. And Mars will ask, animal cards. Hello, got all cards all over the show here. Don't forget, on Thursday I do straight channeling, and if you have any questions to do with the ascension process and where you're going and all that sort of stuff, and what we can bring in and expand our reality towards, then by all means ask away, ask my guides on Thursday. Okay, so animal cards. So animal for today, for this week. Okay, we have a couple. This one fell out. I love this card because this is my shamanic animal. Self-mastery, eagle. So this says you are on a spiritual journey beyond the sky. Let go of the past and soar. You are guided by the winds of spirit. Your wisdom inspires the world. So that's the eagle, but eagle comes from a higher perspective. Eagle is a symbol for the soul, looking at our reality as the observer of it. And when we come from that point of view, we're no longer hooked into the story, because we see all possibilities that are before us, and we can pick and choose which one we want. The eagle soars above everything and has an eagle eye and decides what it wants to go for, and it goes for it. It dives down real quick, and it can see the tiniest mouse from far, 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 far up, high up. So we have that ability through coming back to our soul alignment to be able to be the observer of our reality and then go, I know what I want now, and that's what's going to happen. And then you are literally telling the universe, the outside world, what you want and what's going to happen next. And it fell out with the squirrel. Always be prepared. You are the expert of hard work and hard play. Now, coming straight up with that is all that effort that you've put into your life to try to fit into a system that never worked for you. Why not put all that effort, all that hard work, all that extra energy into something that really aligns with you? Can you imagine where you could go with that? You've been holding up corporations and big companies and everything through hard work and hard effort. Most of it's been filtered through to them. So when you start to say no to that and bring back all the energy to yourself and say, I can create carve what I want, then all your energy can go towards something much grander. And it's a lot of energy because you've already been expending energy in a way that you didn't like. Now imagine if you're expending energy in a way that you actually love. Your cheerful and fun disposition is a blessing to everyone. Don't let life's distractions take you off course. Make a plan for the future and life will give you what you need. Make a plan for the future and life will give you what you need. And that's what this whole reading was about. So I love that. The cards are completely in line with the fact that they told me to call this this weekly Believe in the Impossible Dream. I love that. Okay, let's do some free tarot CHATBAR readings. I'll take my Osho cards. Okay, Amy Mako, and one just fell out straight up for you. That was easy. No way. I know I only shuffled them once, but the existence card did come out for you. So they really do want you to align with your soul at the moment. Just come back to peace and quiet within your mind and just sit still for a while and go, what do I really love about me and where do I really want to go with this? When you find what you really love about yourself and you can start to create a new story in your head of where you want to go with this. We're so focused in on what other people think of us that we forget to believe in ourselves. And I really feel with this card for you is this is a good time for you to start to believe in yourself, because there's so much more coming up for you, because she has the whole universe in front of her. And that serenity that this card feels. And it's a number one. It's like an ace. It's like a new beginning for you. So, yeah. Okay. Who else have we got here? Hi, Cherie. Okay, we've got divine. Okay, we have tuning in, man. Same with the existence card and tuning in and we're really asking to dream big here. All these cards are to do with centering oneself and figuring out where you really want to go. You also had a couple of cards that fell out with it, which is the inner voice. See, coming back to the self, finding out what's your inner voice. What are you actually saying to yourself? Where's your thoughts going? Because there's this suppression that came out with it. So it could be like something that has been hidden from you. You have been pulling, like I don't want to look at that. There's some sort of negative thought, and I don't want to. There's a difference between acknowledging something. There's a difference between acknowledging a negative thought that's been replaying over and over, and then ignoring it completely and saying, you know how I say, if you have a negative thought, you don't want to be putting all that focus in on it. But there is a thing called alignment that if you are ignoring completely, you are not going to be able to take that story. And even me saying this is hard for me to say this. So there's something within you that you are ignoring that needs to come forward and for you to really look at and face off, because it's a dishonesty within yourself of your own thoughts. And I know that sounds a bit mean, but it's not mean. It's just that they want you to see this, because it's like when you see this within yourself, you're going to crack this egg open and go, holy crap, I really feel good about myself now. I understand who I am, where I'm going. I've just been ignoring this thought or something within you for so long now that it's come to a surface. It's like you've peeled away a lot of layers for you to actually reach this point. And this point is absolute self-love. And you cannot come into absolute self-love until you're faced off with those things that you've been ignoring about yourself, because they'll keep on coming up anyway and oozing out in another way. So yeah, there's something there, and it's really hard for me to even say this, because I can feel within yourself you don't want to face it. So and it is a vulnerable thing, and I get it. But please remember, I've been through it all. We've all been through. Everyone's been through the mind. Everyone. There's no one person that hasn't had to deal with ugliness of themselves in some way, sometime. But this is a great thing. This is a great thing. It's like an end thing. It's like Anyways, okay, so we've got also Trina. I'm saying it like this. Even my throat started to go, and then, I mean, I always want to say the right thing for everybody, and it always comes from my heart, but some things are easier to say than others. Trina, you have a aloneness that's popped out. But you also have a beautiful trust card. So aloneness is when we feel completely and utterly alone and we're searching outside of ourselves for someone to fill that gap. It's because we haven't been looking at how amazingly awesome you are and finding the love of self within yourself. So to turn it inwards, instead of searching for somebody to fill that, they want you to come back to authenticity, because there's a difference within you compared to others that they didn't accept because you hadn't accepted it within yourself. And so you constantly feel alone in a sea of people. And they want you to bring it back to, okay, I'm going to love that part of myself now. Who cares? Like, this is who I am. And obviously I can't get away from it because it's who I am. This is the authentic me. And when you take that leap of faith into trusting yourself again, that's when, like, this card actually means when this lady jumps into this vortex of beautiful blues and pinks, she lands in the pink, juicy clouds of feeling so delightful and so happy with herself. So there's a faith, a literal leap of faith that is needed to take in trusting that when you love this piece of yourself, this piece of uniqueness within yourself, it's going to align you with those eventually. And not only that, you won't even need to be searching outside yourself for anyone to align with. It just will naturally happen in the end. But there will become a point, it might take a little time for it to happen, but that's because they want you to really love who you are. Love who you are. No one else can give that to you. It's just impossible for someone else to love who you are, because no one knows you like you know you. Okay, who else have we got? You're welcome, Amy. Thank you, Becky. Okay, let's go for... You're welcome, Divine. Okay, we've got Nicole Burrow. Nicole. They're asking me to get another pack of cards for you, so I'm going to do that. Nicole Burrow. Nicole. Okay, we're all slippery here, but this one's really potting up. Okay, this is why they wanted you to get this other pack. So you have the prophets and ancient seers, decisions, predictive guidance coming into your power of who you are, taking back the fact that you have this ancient magic within you that you can ask to be shown what magic is within you. They want you to align with this. This is something that's igniting within you now, and the energies are right for the taking. The energies are right at the moment for you to align with this magic within you. This magic is within you through a DNA link from people in your past that have held codes for you to open or align you with this. It's coming into maybe your mother was, like a witch, kind of held the codes, the connection to Earth. Now, that could just be that she might have seen like a victim in a world, or feeling like, because she's gone through a lot, her soul's gone through a lot, and she's held a lot for you to be here. So there's this whole new opening up when you take this power back. No matter whether she believes or not, does not make any difference. But when you take your power back, you're freeing them as well. You're freeing your ancestors. So that's what I get for you, Nicole. Okay, who else have we got? Cheryl. Cherie. Funnily enough, you haven't said that you want a card, but I think you wouldn't mind. Because I was looking at you when these cards fell out. Sensitivity and strength, tapping the forces within. There's a power within you that wants to shine. Look at your happy face. And it's because you have weighed your heart against the feather. The soul is the same as your heart, is the same as your mind coming in. Look at this mindfulness card, peace within yourself, finding peace within yourself now. This is such a beautiful new beginning for you to start. If you see this as an absolutely new beginning, that everything from here on out is going to come from this understanding that you can always return to a mindfulness and peacefulness. That is where the strength comes from. That's where your power comes from. So excited for the change. Thank you, Bobbie. That's all right, Jeanette. Most welcome. Okay. I will choose Cheryl. This card wants to come out for you. So elementals and the nature spirits and the 4 elements. The 4 elements are sticking out for me. So it's like earth, wind, fire, and water. Learning to use that within yourself, learning to use your emotions, learning to use your fire within your passion, learning to use how to ground things into this world, learning to use all the 4 elements. And with that will come this guidance, this new guidance that's wanting to speak through you. So a new guidance that's wanting to speak through you. Yeah, it's when you come into a balance with all of those 4 elements that the spirit will come in and start speaking through you. So write down your passions, your desires. So that's the fire element. Write down and then feel within you your emotions and which ones you want to bring forward. It's like you want to control which emotions come in. Align your emotions with your feelings. So your feelings is something that's already within you, of your knowing of who you are. And if you align your emotions with that, the passion will ignite. And then you can start to ground things on earth again. And then the spirit will be able to talk through you or walk this path with you. There's something to do with that. Any case, if anyone wants a full reading, I do one-on-one readings. Just go onto my website. I've done literally 400 readings over the last couple of years. So anyone wants one of them, I have a lot of return people as well. Go down below and click the link. Any case, love you guys heaps until Thursday, when I'll just do straight channeling, and we'll see what other videos come out as well. Love you guys. Bye.